It has been many years, but this city will never be safe. Not whilst he is still out there.
We'll show them pointy ears! We'll show them all! His immensity, his enormously, has returned!
Just warming up!
A storm comes to Ulthuan. It is my duty, our duty, to endure.
It's time we give the pointy heads a proper fight!
Stand with me! For as long as I still live. For Icarus will never fall.
Hello everyone, this is Father the Everchosen, bringing you all the long-awaited news of Total War Warhammer 2's next DLC pack, the Warden and the Paunch, pitting Eltharion the Grim against Grom the Paunch. So, this doesn't come as a big surprise to many of us, but God, is it nice to have finally confirmed for us. So we're going to be going through a little bit of what's on the Steam page and any additional things that I can find on TotalWar.com in the FAQ. But we're going to go through this bit by bit. First off, it will be coming out in 2 weeks' time. Currently, game priced at, or the DLC priced at $8.09, which is pretty decent. So, Eltharion's going to start in Tory Race, and he's going to have an additional settlement, Athel Tamara, which will function as a prison and will function to buff not only Eltharion's faction but the protection of Ulthuan. And a new mechanic introduced will allow Eltharion to capture lords and heroes and put them in Athel Tamara and either interrogate them and either extract, I would assume, money or maybe map information out of them, or he can execute them for bonuses to his army. Eltharion also will be getting access to some campaign exclusive units. We don't really know too much about them. We just have a set of names for them. We've got the Skyhawks, the Sentinels of Estaril, the Spire Guard of Tor of Race, Athel Tamara Faith Bearers, the Knights of Torgaval, and with this DLC, we of course are going to have some new units. So first off, we will be finally getting the Archmage Lord for the High Elves, and they will have access to all 8 Winds of Magic and High Magic, which is such a breath of fresh air. Hopefully this means that eventually the Slann will get access to all Lords of Magic as well, and maybe some of the other races that are lacking will get access to a few more lords as well. They're also going to be getting access to Rangers, which are, I would assume, going to be some perhaps anti-large, stalk, snipe ranged units. We'll have the Silverian Guard, which are a heavy spear unit. The War Lions of Trace, as almost like back in Rome, you would have packs of dogs. We're going to be having just War Lions. I would assume they'll come in maybe packs of 8 or maybe 12. And then we will be getting the White Lion Chariot, which will have probably a crazy amount of armor piercing damage and a very high charge. And then to top it all off, from the Monstrous Arcanum, we will be getting the Arcane Phoenix, which will be the new top tier Phoenix. And this Phoenix should pack quite a bit of a punch, and it should be able to assist possibly in preventing miscast or maybe even increasing the winds of magic available to you. So on top of that, we're also going to be getting 3 new regiments of renown for the High Elves. The Talons of Tor Kaleda, which are archers with light armor. We're going to be getting Rhaegar's Pride, which will be a War Lion of Trace regiment of renown, and the Omen of Asturion, which will be an Arcane Phoenix ROR. On the other side, we will be getting Grom the Paunch, and Grom will be having this new mechanic called Grom's Cauldron, and he will be able to gather up ingredients from around the old world and the new world and combine them into dishes that will give either temporary buffs or permanent buffs to heroes, perhaps Grom himself, or the entire army that he is attached to. Grom also will have his shaman advisor, who was killed by Altharion the Grim, but his head has become almost like a shrunken head and still whispers out advice and can be equipped as a follower to certain units or to either heroes or lords, and they will be able to summon a rogue idol into battle, which will be very useful. Grom will also be getting a new set of units. He's going to be getting these giant river hag trolls, which are going to be a hero unit that are a Lore of Death caster. They're going to be getting 3 varieties of the Snotling Pump Wagon, just a standard variant, which would be like a chariot, a flapper, which, as it says, kind of can bounce up and down. I would assume it will have maybe the ability to jump over maybe frontline units and be able to jump over and get into the back lines and hit archers. And we will be getting the Snotling Pump Wagon with spiky rollers, which I would assume is just going to have perhaps either armor sundering or just a higher AP and a better charge than the standard Pump Wagon. They're also going to be getting access to river trolls and stone trolls. So I would assume that the river trolls might get the troll vomit ability, and the stone trolls are just going to be top tier trolls with high armor, probably some decent missile resistant, and they've got magical resistance as well. So I think they'll have probably a pretty decent amount of leadership, so they're not going to be running away. And then just like the High Elves got the Arcane Phoenix from Monstrous Arcanum, the Greenskins are getting the Rogue Idols from the Monstrous Arcanum. And these monstrosities will hopefully take the place of the giant, pushing the giant down a tier so you can get them a little earlier in your game and perhaps dropping their price point. And on top, in addition to the standard units, the greenskins are going to be getting access to these 3 RORs, Loogie Boogie Spore Splotas, or Spore Splotas, which will be a Snotling Pump Wagon that has exploding mushrooms attached to the front. So I would assume it'll almost function like Kalita's Venom Explosion ability. When they charge in, it'll send the unit in question being charged into kind of flying around, opening up holes. The Swamp Fangs, which will be river trolls that cause terror and have poison, and the Big Gun, which is the biggest, baddest, meanest, most cunning, should be most brutally cunning or cunningly brutal, rogue idol ever conjured. So this thing will probably just be massive, have a huge hit point pool, really good armor, and will be, this will be what you get. This will be the last ROR you unlock. So switching over from the Steam page, we'll go here to the FAQ. And the FAQ really doesn't add too much more in, other than it does talk about the Old World update for the greenskins, which completely changes the WoW mechanic both in battle and on the campaign. In battle, you will have to build up to trigger your WoW, and you can trigger the WoW multiple times, but it gets more and more difficult each time. But the bonuses you get from it are quite fantastic. In the stream that CA put on today, we got a brief look at Azag's special WoW ability, and it gives both fear and terror and increases, I think, weapon attack, weapon strength, and charge bonus by, I think, right around 25%. So it will be a game changer when your WoW is able to be triggered. But you have to build up a WoW meter, just like Murderous Mastery for the Dark Elves. And you have to have your units engaged in melee to build up these WoW points. And then on the campaign, you're going to be slowly building up your WoWs, and you actually get to pick the target. They listen, go, and seize or sack specific settlements, and you can get very good rewards as long as your WoW succeeds. On top of that, the greenskins are getting this new scrap mechanic, which allows them to upgrade their units with different features, either improving their armor, improving their weapons, perhaps changing their loadout. We really didn't get a huge look at it, but it looks like the scrap mechanic could be something that eventually could be implemented across all the factions. It seems like a very promising mechanic. And then on top of that, we will be getting Lord Imric of Calador as the free LC. And it looks like he will be starting over near Malice Darkblade and Snicketch in the Mortal Empires and, I believe, the Vortex campaign. Imric comes as a bit of a surprise to, I would assume, not only me. I think a lot of people were thinking it might be another Game 1 faction, seeing as we already got Elethanar as a free LC Lord, bumping the High Elves up right with the Vampire counts in total Legendary Lords, when we still have, the Dwarves could have used somebody that would have given them representation in Game 2, or the Vampire counts, though they have a lot of Lords, they don't have any representation in Game 2 either. But until we get any more information, this whole DLC and the free LC coming along with it seem to be one of the best that they've put out. They put a lot of attention into the models. They're very very pretty, very well designed. You know, just going through, you know, looking at Grom with his little night goblin, whose name escapes me, his lucky night goblin. You know, this model just is very, very cool. The Arcane Phoenix and the Rogue Idol. Then we've got Eltharion and his. This is one of the unique units that are only available to Eltharion. These are his bodyguards. And then we've got the White Lions. And then we've got the Hag. And I'm assuming these are the River Trolls, seeing as they have the gills. Or these little, like, fin flaps. But the only other free LC thing that we haven't gotten any information on is the free LC mount given through Total War Access. So pay attention for when that comes out. And hopefully you guys will take advantage of the 10% off discount. And starting May 21st, I believe I will be starting an Eltharion the Grim campaign. More than likely in the Vortex. And we'll have that in conjunction with our Von Karstein campaign. But that's all I've got at this point. Thank you guys for coming and watching. This, I'm very excited for this DLC to be coming out, and I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, and tell me what's your favorite new unit coming. Is it the Arcane Phoenix? Is it the Rogue Idol? Or perhaps the White Lion? And if you enjoy the content that I put out on the channel, please subscribe. Thank you all. And as always, I've been Father of the Everchosen.